Let's discuss exactly how we're going to rate a ride on NumBums so that both ride leaders and the riders who sign up for that ride understand what is meant by the difficulty level. So as we scroll down the posted ride, notice that in the middle we have this section here that says this grid below describes ride difficulty. The notes in red apply to this ride. If you take a look at this grid, we've described the ride not in terms of beginner, intermediate, which mean different things to different people. We've described the ride in terms of the pace, the distance, how many and how steep are the hills, the fitness level required to do this ride, the attitude of the ride leader and the group. Is this a training ride or a very social ride? How much traffic is involved? For some riders, having a great deal of traffic is very disconcerting. The skill level in traffic varies dramatically between riders who prefer trails and those who don't mind urban areas with traffic whizzing around them at all and at great speeds on all sides. So with that in mind, we insert this grid into each of the rides. Then right below it, we take each of these categories and describe which one with a little additional information. So for example, in this case, the pace of this ride is going to be about 15 miles an hour, and this is assumed to be on the flats. The hills will be slower, downhills will be faster, of course. The distance, approximately 30 miles. Hills, again, looking at this category, are they steep hills, rollers? Are there a lot of them? In this case, I just put rollers. I could have put a few rollers. I could have described it a little better, but essentially almost no hills, not quite flat. Fitness. In this case, it's a fairly short ride, but we're going to have a stop in the middle. So I'm saying that a half-day ride needs to be okay. In this case, I'm saying that part of the time is the farm tour described above. The attitude of this ride is social. Nobody gets dropped. We could have said that it's a regroup ride where we wait for stragglers, but we don't necessarily slow down to ride with them. In some cases, I might say that if you can't ride the posted speed, we might drop you, in which case it would say we drop slow. We rarely do non-group rides with NumBums, but if it were a non-group ride, we would simply say we're going to give you a map and you're on your own. And there are clubs in the Portland area that ride this way. The traffic in this case is described a little more than a 1 or 2 word list from the chart. We're saying that this is very low traffic farm roads with about 3 miles of higher traffic that does have good shoulder. This gives an opportunity for the ride leader to describe to the rider exactly what's involved. That way the rider can make a decision as to whether or not this ride appeals to them. So at this point, we should be very clear in terms of exactly how difficult this ride is and why it's difficult. If we talk about describing the traffic in this way, we're not putting something on like, oh, it's easy or it's very difficult. Difficult and easy is relative for each rider in each of these categories. So hopefully this system will help you understand exactly what you're getting into when you sign up for a ride on NumBums.